कर दिया ब्लिंक हो रहा ना मतलब
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Faiz Ali. Faiz sir. Today we are going to study the topic of medieval India. Before starting, a brief introduction about myself. I have cracked UPSC prelims and I had 34th rank in Law CET. And very soon I will become an IAS. So let us continue. Our today's topic is medieval India. Now, medieval India starts after the death of Harsha. Starts death of Harshvardhan. Namely 647 AD. So now, why have I written this? Harshvardhan was the last strong ruler of ancient India, which had which ruled a very large part of North India. So Harshvardhana's capital was Kannauj. After the death of Harshvardhana, his generals became independent, and many new centers of power arose. The three important now 750 to 1050 is called as Age of Three Empires. Now these three kingdoms were. This is a map of India. Here, Kannauj. Harshvardhana's capital was Kannauj, and it became a symbol of sovereignty of North India. So three important kingdoms were fighting among themselves to claim control over this part. These were Rashtrakutas, Rashtrakutas. Now, from the west, the Gujarat area was Gurjar Pratihara. Gurjara Pratihara. And from Bengal, the important rulers were Palas. Now, if you pay attention, the diagram that is drawn here is overlapping. This means that this kingdom was the boundaries of this kingdom changed with time. At some point of time, Rashtrakutas were having control over this area. At some point of time, Palas were having control over this area, and at some point, Gurjara Pratiharas were having control over this area. Now, one more important thing is Kannauj was not only important because of Kannauj was not only important because of symbol of sovereignty, but also Because whoever controlled Kannauj could control this area, Ganga, Yamuna, Doab. Kannauj was also important because whoever controlled Kannauj could control Ganga, Yamuna, Doab. Now, this Doab was important because, first of all, it was a fertile area. Fertile area and rich resource. It was resources in trade and agriculture. If this was fertile area, then the cultivation would be good. And if the cultivation is good, then people will trade more resources in trade and agriculture. Now let us see individually let us individually see these kingdoms. First is Palas. 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 Now, exam point of view, you have to remember who is the founder of Palas. The founder of Palas was Gopala. He was made king in 1750 AD. 1750 AD, he was elected king. Now, now the question might arise is why he was elected. So as to establish order. In 770 AD, Gopala was succeeded by his son Dharmapala. Now Dharmapala ruled till 810 AD. But an important thing about Dharmapala is he was defeated by Dhruva, by Rashtrakuta ruler. Dhruva, Rashtrakuta ruler. But left to the south again, and this left Dharmapala free to expand his kingdom. So Dharmapala controlled over Kannauj, occupied Kannauj. Now one more important thing, Dharmapala after occupying Kannauj kept held a darbar there, held a darbar, magnificent darbar. Now Dharmapala was succeeded by his son Devpal in 810 to 850 AD. Now, important thing about Devpal is Devpal extended rule over Assam and Odisha. Now, the important thing that we have to remember is the testimony of their power is given by Sulaiman, an Arab merchant. An Arab merchant testified, not testified, gave an account of Palas. Suleiman visited the kingdom of Palas in 9th century. 9th century means middle of the 9th century, around 800 to 850. Suleiman. Now, this guy was an Arab, so his pronunciation was not very Indian like. He called Pala kingdom as Dharma. Ruhma. Because he could not say the word Dharma. And Dharmapala was the ruler ruling at that time. Now, information about Pala is also gathered from Tibetan sources. Give account of Palas. Now, Palas were ruling over Bengal and also established control over some parts of Assam and Odisha. They were ruling over Bengal properly, but they also were in good relations with Tibet. And rulers of the rulers of Palas were patrons of Buddhism, Buddhist learning. Nalanda, for example, Nalanda was not in a very flourishing condition at that time. So, Dharmapala revived the Nalanda University and he kept 200 villages for its expenses. Dharmapala also founded the Bikramshila University. Dharmapala revived Nalanda, kept 200 villages for maintenance. Now, one of the most important thing from exam point of view is Dharmapala established Nalanda University. No, sorry, Vikramshila University. Take a note of it very quick. Now, let us move forward. One more important thing about Palas is they built many viharas. Palas were patrons of Buddhism, built many viharas. Now, in the Buddhism topic, we have two important things: Chaitya and Vihara. Chaitya means a place of worship, and Vihara means monastery or living quarters for the monks. Let us move forward. Palas. We will write here. Palas had close relations with Tibet. Two very famous monks of Pala kingdom, Dipankar and Sankarakshita. Now these two monks introduced a new form of Buddhism in Tibet. This is a form of Tantric Buddhism. Now let us move forward. Now let us move forward. Since the Palas were ruling over Bengal, and Bengal had the famous ports of Tamluk or Tamralipti. So the Palas were also in close relation, has had close trade contact with countries of Southeast Asia. Let us move forward. Mala Empire also had close relations with Sri Lanka. The Pratiharas. Next is Pratiharas. Pratiharas. The Pratiharas are also called as Gojara Pratiharas. The important thing about these people are they they are called as Gurjara Pratihara because they were their origin traces to Gujarat. Origin from Gujarat area. And probably their origin is that they were local officials. They were local officials, but who became powerful and established their own independent kingdom. Now, Pratiharas are famous because of their resistance to Arab invasions. From Sindh. Actually, these three people are fighting among themselves for Kannauj and Ganga Valley. Now, the early Pratihara rulers were defeated by Rashtrakuta rulers, and the empire shrunk to a very small area. But the power of the kingdom was revived by the famous ruler called as Bhoj. There's a very famous proverb, Kaha Raja Bhoj, Kaha Gangu Teli. So this is the Raja here. Kaha Raja Bhoj, Kaha Gangu Teli. Now, real founder was Mihir Bhoj. Was the greatest ruler of this dynasty. Actually, this is a story of zero to hero. He had lost everything, but he regained his empire. So that is why he is famous. That's why he is famous. And in 836 AD, by 836 AD, he had taken control of Kannauj, which remained capital of its empire. Capital for almost 100 years. Mihir Bhoj tried to expand his kingdom towards the east, but he was defeated in the east by Devpal. Pala ruler, Devpala. So after getting defeated in east, he moved towards south, and he heavy battle between fought a very heavy battle with Rashtrakutas. He was able to retain his control over considerable parts of the of his empire. Fought with the Rashtrakutas in south. Sanguine battle was fought on Sanguine. Sanguine means bloody battle. Bloody battle fought at Narmada. Since he did not get any success in this battle, he again moved to the north. He focused his attention towards the north. Now, Arab travelers tell that Pratiharas had the best cavalry in the world. Pratiharas had best cavalry in India. Pratiharas had best cavalry in India. Now, let us move forward. After the death of Bhuja, he extended in. After this death, after death of Devpal, Bhuja extended to east. Bhuja extended his kingdom towards east. So, मौके पे चौका. The Bhuja is famous in in many stories. Bhuja, the important thing about Bhuja is Bhuja, Mihir Bhoj, devotee of Vishnu. He was a Vaishnavite. He adopted the title of Adi Varaha. Which was inscribed on his coins. He's also called as Mihir Bhoj. Died in 1885. 885 AD. He ruled almost for 50 years. 50, 60 years. Now, Bhoja was succeeded by his son, Mahendrapal. Mahendrapal ruled till 885 to 909 AD. Mahendrapal extended his kingdom towards Magad in North Bengal. North Bengal. Now, Bhuja's inscriptions have been found at many places. These are Punjab, Kathiawar, and Awadh. Mahendrapal's inscriptions. Mahendrapal also fought a battle with Kashmir, but lost a battle. Kashmir, and this reduced his territories. Now, as we have seen, the power of Palas was testified by Suleiman. Now, another writer here is Al-Masudi. Al-Masudi is a traveler. Now, Suleiman was Arab, and this fellow, he was a native of Baghdad, Iraqi, and he visited Gujarat in 915 to 916 AD. So now we will make a column here. Suleiman was first, then 9th century. Al-Masudi, 10th century. 10th century. Al-Masudi was also speaking Arabian language. So we have seen that Palas were called as Ruma by Sulaiman because they could not pronounce Dharma. Now Al-Masudi called the kingdom of Pratihara as Al-Juzr. Called Pratihara kingdom as Al-Juzr. Mispronunciation of Gurjara. Mispronunciation of Gurjara. And he called the king as Bhaura. Mispronunciation of Adivara. Adivara. Adivara, if you remember that Adivara was the title of Mihir Bhoj. Now Al-Masudi says that Gujara Pratihara kingdom had 1,80,000 villages and it was 2,000 kilometer in length and 2,000 kilometer in breadth. Area. He also said that the army of Gurjara Pratihara was divided into 4 parts. One, two, three, four. Now from this part he fights the kingdoms of the northern part, Punjab and Multan. On the eastern side he fights this fight. On the south he fights Rashtrakutas and in the east he fights the Palas. One more important thing about the Pratihara kingdom is that each division consisting 70,000 to 90,000 people. Sorry, each consisting 7 lakh to 9 lakh soldiers. One more important thing about is that the army of Gujar Pratihara was having the best cavalry, but it only had 2,000 elephants. One more important thing about is that all these kingdoms were patrons of art and architecture. Now the Pratiharas, as we have seen, the Palas built monasteries and chaityas, monasteries, sir, and patronized Buddhist religion. But Pratiharas were patrons of literature. There is a very famous Sanskrit dramatist called as Raja Shekhara. Now this man lived at the court of Mahipal, a grandson of Bhoja. Gurjara Pratiharas were patrons of learning and literature. Patrons of learning and literature. The great Sanskrit poet and Raja Shekhara was his name. Sanskrit poet and dramatist. Lived at the court of Mahipal, grandson of Bhuja. One more important thing is that during this time, the Muslim rulers called as caliphs had their capital at Baghdad, and there was regular interchange of scholars between these two countries. So many Indian books were translated into Arabian by these people and kept in in the libraries. The Pratiharas were so exchange of scholars between exchange of scholars between Gujarat in India and Baghdad. At Baghdad, there is a very famous library. There was a very famous library in medieval times called as Baitul Hikmah. Here, translations of many Indian books were found, kept, and many Indian books were in the process of translating. Now, this library was destroyed by Mongols when they attacked Iraq. Which contained many Indian books. Arabic. The last thing that we should know about is that Al Masudi says that the Gurjara Pratihara had no access to sea. And after this, there was loss of Gujarat. Loss of Gujarat, which weakened this kingdom. Gujarat was famous for its trade and the ports, Cambay and Broch. Loss of Gujarat weakened Pratihara kingdom. Now let us move forward. Loss of Gujarat also affected Pratihara kingdom because shortage of horses. The ruler Krishna III, Rashtrakuta ruler invaded Pratihara kingdom. (963 AD). Our next topic is Rashtrakutas. Now the founder of Rashtrakutas is Danti Durga. Danti Durga. He had his capital at Malkhed. Malkhed or Manyakheta near modern day Solapur in Maharashtra. The Rashtrakutas dominated the entire area of Maharashtra and southern India. Now they fought Pratiharas and Palas, and the Pratiharas were famous for their plundering raids. They brought enough rich booty whenever they attacked any kingdom. The Rashtrakutas also fought in the south against eastern Chalukyas of Vengi. The greatest rulers of the Rashtrakutas was the Govinda III and Amogha. Greatest rulers were Govinda III and Amogha. Amogha is very famous. Govinda III attacked North India and defeated Nagbhatta of Kannauj. Govinda III was a very restless fighter. He fought from he fought all over the country. Now, Amogha was the very strong ruler, and he built Malyakheta as a capital for Indra. He dedicated his city called as Malyakheta, which was also the capital for the god Indra. Amogha. This is here. He was the Amogha. He wrote a Kannada books on wrote a Kannada books on poetic. Kannada book on poetics. Built Malkhed, Indra. There were many rebellions under Amogha, and these could be badly contained from his by his successors. His grandson Indra III re-established the empire. Krishna III was the last famous ruler. He fought Parmaras of Malwa and Chalukyas of Kalyani. He also defeated Pulakeshin I, the Chola. Parantak I, the Chola king. He also established pillars of victory at many places. Now, Rashtrakutas had tolerant religious policy. Rashtrakutas tolerant religious policy. Tolerant religious policy. Arabs were Muslims were permitted to establish Muslims were permitted. Muslim traders permitted to follow their own religion. Without any restriction. Now, one of the famous Krishna Rashtrakuta rulers was Krishna. Krishna I, who built temple at Ellora, Kailash temple. Built Kailash temple at Ellora. The most important thing about this temple is that this is made up of a single stone. The entire mountain was cut into a temple. It is a monolithic rock cut temple. Now, this tolerant policy of Rashtrakutas allowed them to increase their revenue because many traders could come and visit without any restrictions and could continue their activities. Okay, that is all for today, students. Let us meet the next time. Hope you have a good day.